Hey everybody, good morning. Asia, Bitcoin, almost at all-time highs. Welcome. Welcome to the gates of Valhalla. So, what are we doing today with Bitcoin? Probably nothing, but I just went over with the lads and ladies, if there's, Jenny is here. Um, we went over the next steps or the next what we're expecting to happen, which I think is it gets sticky. It could just blow through, right? I don't know, but I think it gets a little bit sticky, and I'm not sure this happens, right? Forget this, ignore this. This was previous ideas of a break up and then a pullback, but I'm going to delete that now. But I think we get a little bit sticky, and I think what happens is Ethereum BTC is also becoming, um, I mean, there's buyers there, right? So if we come back to the D2 previously, what you had when the market bottomed was this fractal. Now it's not exact, but it's looking like it's similar, okay? So it had the grind down, right? There's like a couple of highs there, let's say there. So you had a high, okay? Dip, back up, lower high. That was how you knew the trend was set. Dip, back up, lower high. Then it just grinds down. Selling, 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 selling. Then pop, same. Sweeps the low, pop. So we know the buyers are here. Are they going to stay? Yes, they stayed. Bang, they're in again. It's probably slipped on the book, right? Slipped on the order book. And then you just get your series of higher lows. And I think we're getting them now forming. So where are we going to go to? Probably 0.8 or something. Probably double from here. I think we can get an almost 2x out of this. I don't know how high it goes. I don't know if it does this. What I do know is it's starting to price in an ETF. But I don't think it's going to go wild just yet. I think we'll get the move up, but then I think again, this could all be different, right? But it's just my guess. Because the halving is so close, I think we get a month now of March, just altcoins, nuts, right? And then I think we probably have to rotate back. We can still hold some altcoins, but I think Bitcoin might go a bit bazonkers in April because there is a halving and there is a narrative now and there is a big buyer. So I think if we have 1 month all in on altcoins and everything, and then you can start taking some profit on it as the month closes. That's my plan anyway. Woo, what do you think? You're gonna sort of take some profit on some of your altcoins as the halving closes? You're always pretty good at rotating your altcoins. Of course, you don't want to move too much, right? But you definitely want, if there's some big moves and you get some 20x's, take some money off the table and put it in Bitcoin. Because we don't know what might happen. If there's still a demand as the halving closes and finishes and we enter the new phase, if there's still a bit, if there's still a Wall Street demand, it would be scary to be 100% altcoins from March and Bitcoin just goes on a tear to 100, 150k and your altcoins are just bleeding. That would ruin the bull market for you, you know. So I think if you get some nice 10x, 20x pops in March, pull that out and stack some more Bitcoin. But you can keep a basket of your altcoins. You don't need to move too much, but make sure you are positioned. Would be what I would recommend. And that can be, if you can have ordinals, you can have stamps. If you've got any BTC high beta plays, then keep them as well because they go up with Bitcoin. The value of, let's say, an ordinal, if it's zero point 0.1, zero point 0.1 BTC now, it'll just drag up. The price will just drag up in dollars. So you can keep them, but the altcoins will trend down, won't they, against BTC? Yeah, okay, that's well, yeah, but if you're already positioned, that's good. If you're already positioned with BTC, that's good. For those who aren't, and they've got higher percents of like 90% of altcoins, I'd come down to 50 at least. You want a 50-50. You don't want a too high exposure to altcoins, just in case Honey Badger goes nuts, because then you really get hurt. because then at 2 or 300k you can rotate back. Then the splashback in altcoins will be probably the blow. Yeah, yeah, them ones you can just leave. I fully agree with you there, brother. But if you're high percent and very high percent altcoins and very low Bitcoin, make sure that changes by the halving, just to protect yourself. All right. Now, in terms of trades today, Bitcoin probably nothing. I think it's going to get sticky up here, which is normal, but I don't know for how long. I'm just going based upon BLX. I've just gone over this. What? Oh, okay. I've just gone over this with those in Discord, and we've discussed previous all-time highs. Now, what I think might happen is it does the same as it did before, which is it gets, it pauses. It gets right high and then it pauses. And I've got some nice tweets from back here mentioning the sentiment. Most of the reason I tweet is for like a journal, and then I look back on it. It's really good to go back and see what happened. And people really thought it was going to swing fail. Um, they really thought if it swept that high, especially price action traders, then they could sell it. And it got a bit choppy there because there was a lot of sellers and buyers, but the trend was strong. It was over, okay, and then it broke. Now I don't know how long or if this happens again, but it's happened 2 times on the spin. So try not to pay too much attention to. Um, there's lots of good people on Twitter, and they are good people. Just try not to pay too much attention because I don't want people being shaken out. Right? This is where you want to be in. We really wanted to be here. We wanted to be at these highs, man. Don't give up now. So, but it does get a bit, you know, it gives you a nosebleed. Just try and hang in there. Excuse me. Back to Bitcoin. Now, do I think we're going to get anything out of this today? Probably not. I think we're more likely to see a, maybe a bit of consolidation because we're coming up to the weekend. Wall Street won't be buying on the weekend, and you got to remember we did have. I mean, again, this could be a positive or completely impartial, but this did accumulate here, didn't it? Clearly accumulated, right? Because it sent, and that lasted for 2 weeks. No, not that long. 12 days, right? We could go for 7 to 10 days in there chopping. So if I were you, I'd stay away from Bitcoin, and then I think it goes, right? I'd stay away from Bitcoin, go for the altcoins. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, is Ethereum ETH. I watched a video yesterday and somebody called it ETH, and I thought, does anybody else in here call it ETH? Because my guess was the video was from someone who's very new. And I'm thinking, that's good. There's new people coming in. New people, new people. ETH. Does anybody call it ETH? That's definitely someone new, isn't it? There's a new crowd appearing, and I love it. It's really good. Like, it's brilliant. We're in the right place. ETH is such a weird thing for me to hear. ATH. Eighth. Eighth. Oh no. ETH. ETH. Yeah, it's always ETH. Definitely ETH. ETH. I was like, that's someone new. Definitely new. So we've got the right people heading towards us. Can I get us in here? Hmm. We took a nice trade there, didn't we? Uh, Closed, which bad close, maybe, but got 8.8 R out of it. I was happy with that. Now I'm going to try and get a similar setup to this, okay? Um, I was happy with that trade. Some of you are still in it, right? Who's still in? Who's still in? Are you still in, boys? Some of you still kept it, didn't you? DZA maybe. Well, I'm going to look for it's just a similar setup. Let price tell you where resistance is. It was there. It was there. Okay, draw your level. You're in F spot. Okay, I think maybe it was Mav who held on. Just the same type of setup. You got your SR level, which it did actually pull back to and retest. Now I want an entry close to it again. Okay, and I think it was such a big deleveraging spike, it kind of created a domino effect, didn't it? Profit taking, probably other things, but maybe Bitcoin ripping sort of. The market is just human behavior. So what you likely saw was a lot of people that were in altcoins not moving that panic sold at the same time, groupthink from different altcoins to buy Bitcoin. That's normally how this works. Um, they get their fear of missing out, and if you read, you know, sentiment, people are a bit worried that they've not got enough Bitcoin. So it's going to get choppy now, I think, for Bitcoin. Now this is probably what you saw, just a panic deleveraging plus a panic selling quickly. I need to rotate, but it's immediately bounced. There's a buyer here for Ethereum, very bullish. Now that isn't too wide for us to place a stop, so I think I'm going to go for the one next to it. Let me think. Am I going to get that? Is it going to fill there? $70, $80 lower? Maybe. Hmm. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. All right, similar trade. So the pivot, okay. Where did the price actually pivot from? Okay, pivot. Down here we mentioned it took the low. Like what you're trying to identify is where the swings come from. Where are the buyers? They show you where they are, right? This move. So you come back and you say, oh, that is where it originated from. Okay, I'll put my risk there, my stop loss. Where did this swing come from? It came from here. Okay, so it took out the lows and it bounced. Buyers stepped in here. Now I'm going to have my stop loss below here. Okay, so the trade I'm going to take, which I'm not sure I'm going to get filled, but I'm definitely going to put my limits on the top of this block here, which would be probably going to try and get as wide as possible there. It's a very similar setup, but I like it because I think with the lower high, you're going to get a lot of shorts pile in now, and I think we've deleveraged a lot of the bid. So those who were in and were dragging their trailing stops up, they've been stopped out in profit. You've got the nice bounce now. I believe if it comes down to here, that would be a what? A lower high, and then that wouldn't be good. So I'm betting on it being continuing the bullish momentum. I'm going to enter on the top, stop loss at the bottom. That means my invalidation is at the turning point of the market. I wouldn't say being bearish, but it would probably then do something like Solana's just done, which was like that, wasn't it? It kind of done this channel, which made everybody think it was a top. So if you look at Solana, perfect example of what I don't want F to do, what I'm betting on Ethereum not to do, which is like a 2 hourly. Yeah, there. So you got the lower high, okay, and I'm gonna try and take like a long in there, right? I don't believe it's gonna do this. That's why I'm betting. But if it does, it will just mean we're just waiting for a little bit longer to go up again. But I'm gonna bet that it doesn't, and I'm gonna have my risk at this low. Make sense? Okay, so that's the play I'm gonna take, and that is on M10. Yeah, that'll do. M10 is good enough for me. Let me move this out of the way. See, if that had swept the high, I would be going, maybe just pause a minute, just wait and see what happens. But it hasn't, and it's been a nice strong bounce. I think the drop, people will think the top, they'll short, short trap. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay, so where would the target be? 3.6. Just first target, 50% off of the futures position. Just stay in your spot. If you're in spot, I think you can look at 10k like by the summer. Where are we now? We're nearly at March. 4 months, 10k. September. Q3, 10k. Q3, 10k, I reckon. Because if they approve, I mean, they know how to get an ETF approved now. Especially these boys rolling 500 million in. Like, SEC has been going to be getting so much profit. They're definitely, we know they all work together. It's all legal and everything's great, right? But they now know how to get an ETF approved, and they now have seen the effect it has on the market. They're going to bring the second one in quicker because they're going to be so rich, man. It might even save America like completely by Bitcoin and ETF, Bitcoin ETF and Ethereum ETF. They're just hedging the dollar at this point. They're just, I mean, the profit they're making is just insane. They're pouring dollars into two assets which are probably going to go 20x each. It almost kills the printing they've done in 2021. It's quite phenomenal to watch. We're in really interesting times. Just make sure you get out and you win. So that's the most important thing for us. But I think this is the trade, and I think your spot position you can just hold way past this. But this will just make you more money, right? They'll just make you some extra money. So that's going to be the trade. Now, we're still in INJ, which is lovely. Now, the next trade I wanted to look at was AVAX, and then I'm going to look at your altcoins. Okay, so AVAX is apart from being an absolute pile of shit, I think there's a position there. Yeah, I do think there's a position there. Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to close the stream here, and I'm going to do the altcoins. I'm going to use this video for YouTube. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.